person who went missing. Hello friends, welcome to another episode of Get Good at Songwriting. Today I want to talk about a song called Uprising by a band called Muse. I'm sure you're familiar with this song. If not, I'll give you a quick bass line. And it's like a you know what I'm talking about now? They will not force us. They will stop degrading us. They will not control us. We will be victorious. It's a bit boring in that octave. Know the song? Welcome to the stream, everybody who's coming in. What's up? What's up, Salith? What's up, Alessio? Welcome, welcome. We're live. We're talking about music theory and, well, Uprising by Muse. What the heck is going on in this song? Let's just go through the chords first, okay? We got A, D minor, will not for G minor, force us, F. We will stop D, A or A7, D, G minor, and F, and A, and D minor. It's like the most basic D minor chord progression. You can see it in like a song that's strummed like this. It's like SpongeBob in minor. So anyway, what are these chords in relation to one another? They are, as I said, in D minor. We're in the key of D minor. It's the first chord, makes sense. D minor, it's the one chord, surprisingly, of D minor. We got G minor, which is the 4 chord, really, of D minor, a 4 minor chord. And we got the flat 3 chord, which is the relative major. So D minor and F major are relative to one another, or relatives to one another, I suppose I should say. D minor is F major's relative minor, and F major is D minor's relative major. Very, very related chords, D minor and F. And in the context of D minor, F is the flat 3 chord. Then we get the A7 chord, which is, you might be tempted to say, the 5th scale degree in D minor, but it's not quite the diatonic chord that would be built off the 5th scale degree of D minor. That would be an A minor 7. What we have here is an A major triad with a dominant 7th, making a dominant 5 chord, which in this case is what's called a secondary dominant, because it takes us back to D minor eventually. It doesn't immediately. First it goes down to G minor, and then it goes down to F, and then it goes to A7 again, and back home. So pretty basic, right? We got D minor 1, we got G minor 4, we got F flat 3, we got A7 secondary dominant 4 1. Makes sense so far? You with me? Now, just the 2 chords here I wanted to look at more than any other 2 chords is, well, first of all, this A7 chord. It's very cool what the bass does to outline where it's leading the second time it hits. And the bass line really makes it quite obvious where it's going both times it comes around, if I'm not mistaken. So we got the bass line just playing the root notes of all the chords. So for D minor, it's just going to play D, just octave it. There's just two different Ds. D, 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 D. And as soon as the G minor rolls around, you guessed it, the bass plays a G octave. And then the F major comes around and the bass plays an F octave. And then the A7 comes around and the bass plays an A octave. Well, stop degrading us. So we had a G minor here. Stop degrading us. F. And then we get another A7. Except the bass doesn't go that way. It doesn't go through the root. It's the only example of the bass not playing the root note of the respective chord in this chord progression. We get an A7, yes, but instead of playing the root note A, the bass plays the third C sharp. So check out how that sounds. I'll play it with the root note first, and then I'll play it in the first inversion, that is with its third in the bass. They will stop degrading us. They will not. Verses. They will stop degrading us. Notice the difference? Same chord, different bass note. A7 has all these 4 notes in it, and you can really play any which one of them as the bass note, and it's going to work. Just like all these other chords have more than one note in them, that's what a chord is, more than one note. And you can really play any which one of them as the bass note. You can play D minor with a D in the bass, or you can play D minor with an F in the bass, it's the third. Same chord, different bass note. Or you can play it with an A in the bass, that's the fifth. Someone kind of wants to go to A7. And then it feels so good when it goes back to the one. Hey, it's Gustafar. What's up? Hey, Hassan Pasha. Welcome to the stream. We're talking about Muse's song, Uprising, and what the bass is doing and where the harmony is going. Now there's one more note that I want to discuss in this whole thing that doesn't appear every repetition of the chord progression. I'll just play it through until I get there. Now, that one doesn't appear every time. Sometimes it just goes, not force us, they will stop. Sometimes it goes, force us, they us, they. Very cool. Us, they, and what's going on here is we got an F going to an A7 chord. But instead of going straight from the F to the A7, we add a little step in between the two, which goes a half step below the target note. So we get an F, and then we get an A flat or a G sharp, leading into an A. And this chord that we build on top of this chromatic approach note from below to the target chord A7. Hey, Alina, what's up? The chord we build on it is called a diminished chord. So the notes of a diminished chord. Yeah, that's the same sound. Very cool. In my opinion. And it's really what's the word I'm looking for? Whatever. You could just as well play an E7 chord here. It's kind of like a replacement, jumping in for an E7 chord, or like an E7 with a G sharp in the bass, because an E7 chord would be the secondary dominant for an A7. It wants to go there. E7, A7. Okay, just like A7 is the secondary dominant for D minor, we want E7 to be the secondary dominant for A7. Even if we're in D minor and E7 and A7 aren't chords that naturally occur in that scale, hey Octavio, we can still artificially add some secondary dominance in there if we want to. And that's what's happening here. Essentially, the bass line goes... Sounds a bit strange that way, honestly. But, well, anyway, that's the idea, because G sharp is the third of E. And if we put E7 into its first inversion, therefore, we get this chord right here, which is not too far removed from this chord right here. Degrading us, they will not control us. We will be And that's it for today's episode of Get Good at Songwriting. I hope you learned something. If you feel excited to implement some secondary dominance in your songwriting, it can really spice things up, as I hope you were able to tell. And one more thing. Let's try to play the song without any secondary dominance real quick. I'm just going to do that to give you the comparison. They will not force us. They will stop degrading us. They will not control us. We will be victorious. Felt how good it felt to get an A7 there finally. How much less spicy and interesting it is when you don't know how to use secondary dominance. So, well, this is what I'm all about, helping music theory, helping songwriters with music theory, because I look around and I see a bunch of songwriters that could be making, writing songs that are of a much higher degree of quality than what they're currently doing, and they're just not doing it because they think that if they knew music theory, it would ruin the magic of discovery. And music theory is really just the beginning of the magic of discovery. So come to me if you'd like to learn, and I'll see you same time next week for another installment of Get Good at Songwriting, where we will analyze, I don't know, another Muse song or something. Let's see. See you then.